to Brands Hatch and Thundersport GB. It's the Morello Services Thundersport GP1s, Superstock 1000s and Super Twins. Steve's on the grid.
Number 30, Ian Mackman, is on pole position for the Morello Services Thundersport GP1 race, including Superstock 1000s and Super Twins. Now, Phil Crowe got injured yesterday, so Ian is only 20 points behind now. It's really closing up. Second on the grid here, Alex Heaton has done so well to get himself second. A great race yesterday. Mick Robertson has been fantastic all year long, and of course everybody knows about Pete Baker. Now, there is clouds, there's a few spits of rain. It's been declared a dry race. So, Robin, that does mean if we do see substantial amounts of rain, chances are it could get stopped.
Well, that is a possibility, Steve. We'll keep our eyes on that. But there's the redoubtable Peter Baker on the front row of the grid, and the newcomer to English, I should say, beg his pardon, to English circuits, Michael Robertson. There's Alex Heaton, very determined on the Ducati, and calm as ever, Ian Mackman on pole position. Phil Crowe, as you said, out in that instant yesterday, along with Greg Lewis. So two front runners, unfortunately, missing from the scene, but we wish them both well. There's a bit of recovery, particularly on Greg Lewis's part after that incident, but away they go. And another immaculate start from the front by Ian Mackman.
Yes, Ian Mackman's got his eyes on championship. Another rider that isn't out this weekend, Angelo De Rosa, the Limpet label Suzuki rider, is using this round to miss out. Of course, it's quite a trek from Wrexham, so he's decided to miss this one out. But we do have a new addition, Rob Ellesmere, an old favourite, runner-up on this particular championship a couple of years back, is out there, number 42, in around 6th or 7th. But at the front here, look at that, Ian Mackman, and then Baker on the outside of Mick Robertson into clearways.
That is one amazing bike of Peter Baker's, and that Suzuki is in beautiful nick. It's a lovely machine. I remember when you did that a good look around the Peter Baker bike a few months ago, Steve. It is an amazing piece of kit, but my goodness me, it takes some riding as well. And Peter Baker in absolutely brilliant form at the moment.
He is, yeah, just looking at a couple of spots of rain on the camera lens, but hopefully it'll blow over. There is Ian Mackman then, and Peter Baker, yeah, he's just coming into some form. He's left it a bit late, but with no Phil Crowe, all of a sudden, there's 3 or 4 in it for the championship. Alex Heaton there in 4th. Of course, he's down on power a little bit on that Ducati, but as is Ian Mackman and Mick Robertson, of course, they're on Superstock machines compared to Baker, who's on the outside in the Bannock. Oh, he's going to do it.
He's done it around the outside, and that was big and brave and very determined, and I have to say, much as one expects from Peter Baker, you do get value for money out of him. You know what he's at. He wants to win them all, and frankly, if anybody's going to take him off him, they've got to work really hard. Baker leads, number 2, up the front.
Yeah, Dave Twyford's doing a good job in 5th there. He's just broken away from the pack. Jamie Wilkins is included in that. Jamie Wilkins out there on his Street Fighter winning bike because his engine went pop, and, well, someone else is using it as a road bike. They actually rode it up to Brands Hatch, unscrewed the number plate, and out he is on it. So a little bit further back there is 142, Kevin Spence. Yeah, that's Scott Adam just ahead of them, and there's Charlie Flett. Scott Adam out there on a mini twin bike, linked him by Claire Dominy, so he can get some super twin points.
Excellent pull up the front. It's flat out. There's Baker, Mackman, Robertson in the mix. Alex Heaton right up there as well. Baker at the moment coming down through Graham Hill Bend, and once again, lovely, clear idea of quite how calm he is on that machine. You can just see him looking at least a corner or 2 ahead, and this really is the head-to-head in this leading group, both on the Stock 1000s. We've got Ian Mackman and Michael Robertson, very evenly matched on lap times.
There's Mike Baxter. To say he's experienced around this circuit is an understatement, and Martin Bissell. But yeah, at the front, Mick Robertson has done superbly all year round. Another rider, just like Paul Wishart that we saw in the Superstock 600s, both they get some support from Carney's Auto Centre. They travel down from Scotland, but the pair of them, new to the English circuits, as you mentioned, and doing a fine job. Rob Ellesmere just going through there.
He's got Stuart Poyser behind him, and yes, glad to see Rob back out there again, and particularly on this bike. He's taken a while putting it back together. I remember seeing this bike at this circuit literally broken in half as Rob had a monster crash, which thankfully he walked away from relatively unscathed. You couldn't say that about the bike, but it's now been glued together, and he's out there, a bit ring rusty. I spoke to him this morning, but he said he's getting down to it.
He's always capable, we know, of lapping with the guys at the front, but of course when you've not been racing all year long, fitness comes into it. These are long races here, Thundersport GB, so he's still doing very well to be up in the top 6 there. At the front, you just saw a great shot of Peter Baker going into Paddock Hill Bend as we filter through the pack. 41 Colin Thompson. Peter Baker really is pushing it right to the edge into Paddock Hill Bend. The bike moving around, and Ian Mackman here and Mick Robertson having to do everything just to stay with it.
Yeah, keeping an eye, and there Alex Heaton in 4th place. Alex had a bit of a haunted look on his face when I saw him earlier. Just always has the feeling, I think, that he needs an extra few horsepower. He loves it moving onto the big bikes, but you know, if he could find a bit of extra power from somewhere, he's always fancies giving it just a little bit more.
I think Alex is going to be one to look out for next year's championship. I know the Night Road Racing team have got a few things up their sleeve ready for Alex next year, and he's undoubtedly a talent. So keep your eyes pinned on Heaton for next year's championship as Baker filters through the pack here. This has been a very good ride from a rider that a lot of people had written off at the start of the season. That was a bit close there on the outside of Scott Adam, Ian Mackman and Mick Robertson. I think any chance they did have is now gone.
Yes, I think they may have written him off mistakenly as they got out on the last lap, because he had a bit of a major bin at Donington and did the bike and bent himself a little bit as well. And I think people thought, well, maybe that'll dampen his enthusiasm, but they don't know the man. He has come back against adversity, and I'll tell you what, he is scorching around today, and he's dipped into the 47s. And that is very tidy stuff around the Indy circuit indeed.
Yes, that is seriously quick, and these aren't the best conditions either to be doing those sort of lap times. So this has been a perfect ride from Peter Baker, and he's going to take a superb win and a chunky 25 points in GP1.
That's just a little bit scorchy over Peter. He takes it, and that good chase behind, which is also the battle at the top of the stock thousands. And there we see Peter Baker receiving the congratulations for that win from Ian Mackman, Michael Robertson, Alex Heaton 4th, Dave Twyford superb 5th, and Rob Ellesmere getting back up there.